right, everybody, welcome in. Welcome in today on our astrology group. The astrology group usually meets on Thursdays, but this week it is a holiday in the U.S. What's wrong with me? So today at noon we're gonna have our astrology group, and I'm gonna talk about retrogrades in your birth chart, retrogrades that are happening and how they are impacting you. So if you want to jump into my astrology group, there's a link below. All right, tomorrow on Pathfinders, we're going to talk about the use of dreams in interpreting intuitive information, how you can use your dreams to get guidance. All right, so that's going to happen in Pathfinders on Wednesday. So we're starting off with a bang this week. I had a live on Monday, so we're on fire. All right, enough of that. Cleansing waters. Purification activates a vibrant life force. Navigating by the stars. Follow your bliss. All right, ascending the mountain. Keep going forward. I was going to say to you, okay, discovering the truth. You stand in the light of truth. So this is a progression, what's known as a progression. I see how this is sort of unfolding. Now, what's being asked of you right now, when I did the live yesterday, we talked a lot about taking a nap, okay? Talked a lot about being more at peace with yourself, not hurrying so much, not pushing anything. And usually, I think that's pretty good advice anytime, but there is something about really slowing down right now. Okay, maybe that's just because it's a holiday weekend here in the US, but there is something about just taking some kind of stock of where you are and where you want to go. Now, navigating by the stars, some of you could be using astrology to understand your mission and purpose. And it's about to get steep. Okay. So you see how that's kind of a nice path, not really too challenging. Ascending the mountain. And this is like when you're up in the mountain. There's something about connecting with a new group of people, really like-minded spiritual seekers, kind of coming together. And if you have an opportunity to do it, I highly recommend it. But this almost feels like I'm getting really peaceful so I can feel my journey and understand what the next step is. That's my only goal right now, as I am at peace. And I'm just going to be like, okay, I'm on a spiritual path. I'm seeking information. I'm seeking to align with my mission and purpose. And I'm just asking for guidance. So when you ask for guidance, the next step is what? Listen. Okay. So don't keep moving. Don't keep asking. Don't keep, pushing. What you're really wanting to do is just be at peace. And some of you are going, okay, I'm going to follow my bliss. All right. I already know what that is. I've already been pushing back on it. I'm not really sure, because it is going to get a little messy. Okay. Things are going to get a little messy, and in your life or in life in general. And it's kind of like you need to be grounded, and you need to be in that space of anchoring. We anchor within. And you need to be in that space because things are about to get steep. Keep going forward. And this is the tribe. So there's definitely tribal stuff going on this planet. There's no question about it. I see the 9 of Swords there. And now I'm going to this. Judgment, 2 of Cups, the Chariot, the Magician, and the Emperor. Wow. Okay, I'm going to take this. Look at this. The Strength card, 10 of Cups, and the Lovers card. Oh my God, Queen of Wands. Okay, so some of you have made a choice to manifest the love of your life. Some of you have made a choice to move forward on a path, even if you don't know who this is, or you're just instead of saying a person's name, you're kind of like, I'm just manifesting. I'm here to manifest the love of my life. I am open to that. Sometimes when we use a person's name in our manifesting, it can bring up a lot of resistance, especially if there were some things, you broke their heart, they broke your heart, especially if there was messiness in the connection up until now or at one time. And it's kind of, this is kind of saying to me, be free of that. Be free of of any kind of resistance. And you'll see that in the Chariot card, the swans are pulling the chariot, and swans mate for life. So this is about manifesting the next step, which is clarity and openness to whoever shows up. Okay? This is not this. I'm just going to say this to you because if you've been having a hard time manifesting a specific person, it's likely because you have some resistance around it. Maybe that needs healing. Maybe that needs your attention in some way. But what I'm really feeling is that when you just manifest from a clear place of, I want the love of my life, and I know what that feels like. I know what it means to be in love. I'm working on myself. I'm working on my self-love. I am the love of my life. And so once you align with I am, because this magician is like, I am, okay? I am the love of my life. Then it comes in. Some of you have too much masculine energy, meaning there might have been some kind of wound to the feminine, a wound of, could be anything that relates to the ability to receive love. If you cannot receive a compliment, you cannot receive love. All right. If you have a hard time with that, if you have a hard time allowing someone to take care of you or do something nice for you, bring you food when you're sick or anything like that, if you're having a hard time with that, then you're definitely not receiving love. And that can be the block in the manifestation. Now, love is a word that can mean many things. This doesn't have to mean a romantic relationship, although I do see the possibilities here for that. This can be about world peace. This can be about love of humanity. This can be a lot of different kinds of love. And the feminine is kind of being shown that it's important to learn how to receive and remember how to receive. That's power. Some of you could have a blocked sacral or solar plexus chakra. All right. I'm going to talk about that in Pathfinders too. I want to give you a test for you to see if your chakras are really open or not. And I'll give you something to help you work on that. All right, so let's see what the rest of the reading shows. 9 of Wands. Yeah, this has been a lot of water over this, under the bridge, over the dam, right? A lot of water over the dam and under the bridge. 9 of Wands, 8 of Swords. Strength. Didn't I say, like, I feel like I've been seeing a lot of Leo energy the last few months, and I've been talking a lot about Lionsgate. I will do a special reading for Lionsgate. Of course, I think I do that every year, so I'm going to do it again this year. Knight of Cups, 4 of Swords, Ace of Wands, Sun and the Ace of Wands, like lighting a match. All right, like being inspired. 2 of Wands, 4 of Wands, Devil energy. There's some reason this is showing up. It's a pattern. There's 9 of Wands and 8 of Swords. These are 2 cards that talk about patterns, things that we just unconsciously do. It's almost like it's just a track our brain runs along. And when you learn to meditate, you move yourself out of these tracks because you're not just kind of going along with whatever your mind says, right? Your mind is your personality. It's something you've created. It's not really who you are. It's something that you do. It's something that you've created in order to get love or stay safe or whatever it is. And Sun, happiness, 10 of Cups, strength, Ace of Wands. I feel like this is coming in. There's an opportunity coming in from somebody who has healed or is healing. All right, because these 2 cards, look at that. These 2 cards are, if you in this reading, are looking back to the past. This is a past pattern that you've had. It's time to break that past pattern. And if you are the one who is healing, meditating, working on stepping out of your personality that has kept you trapped, 8 of Swords, this is the higher octave. of that Eight of Swords. This is Capricorn energy. This is Saturn. There's some big lesson. If you don't have the love and happiness in your life, there's a big addiction or thing you fall into, like people pleasing or something like that. This could be different for each one of you, but let me clarify the Devil card here. I feel like you're open to this next way of being that isn't so sort of like programmed into you. This Devil card, Fool, Six of Cups, Temperance, wow, Four of Pentacles, Ace of Cups. I like, oh, Ace of Cups, Ace of Pentacles, very nice. Some of you are a slave to a financial sort of, I get this backpack, like something on you. Maybe it's debt, medical debt, student debt. It's something that, or some kind of money that is tied up, because I get the Four of Pentacles here. So you're not fully free to be the 10 of Pentacles, but you can be the Six of Pentacles. Four of your pentacles are tied up. Okay. And that happens a lot later in life when we've made commitments and, you know, we must see them through and all of that. So some of you, this could be child support. This is something that is an important part of creating families. And it's something that it's not about like, oh, I'm not doing this. It's sort of like, well, no, that's spoken for. So that's over here. Some of you could feel that whatever you signed up for is, this is not about, you know, kids are never a burden. Kids are awesome. Kids are fantastic. That's not what this is. This is more about how you feel about what you're capable of having now in your life. Okay. I hope you love your kids. Love, love, love. That's not what this is about. This is about like, okay, now I'm more complicated. Okay. I'm more complicated. I'm more complex. And I can't just kind of walk away from anything. I don't want to. This is really important to me. That's a high vibe. The downside of the Devil card is that there's something that you feel like is holding you back. And it's in your power to heal it or work with it. And you're not doing that because you think you're powerless about it. You think you're powerless to get out from under all this debt. You think you're powerless to walk away from some kind of addiction, workaholism, whatever. Saturn is our lessons. Okay. And there's a new chapter starting to open. Ace of Wands, Ace of Cups, Ace of Pentacles. Yesterday in the morning message, it wasn't the Ace of Wands that came out. It was the Ace of Swords, Cups, and Pentacles. And we waited for that Ace of Wands. All right. And it did come out before the ending of the reading. What's missing here is the Ace of Swords. The other three are here and the Fool. So those are all new beginnings, plus the Magician, the new beginnings. The Ace of Swords is about being honest about this. Okay. Is there something that is holding you back? Being honest about debt, being honest. It's almost like, if I say it, it won't be so shameful, or it won't be so low vibe. If I'm like, you know what? I'm embracing my truth. Because look at this Four of Swords. He's got the Ace of Swords right here, but the Three of Swords are hanging above his head. So he kind of believes, even as they're healing, that still focused on the pain, not as much focused on the authenticity, which is what needs to happen. So as you're healing or as you're working through whatever's going on with you, to get to these aces, you have to be honest about where you've been and come to peace with it. Come to some kind of peace with this Devil card. Eight of Wands, King of Cups, 10 of Wands, Queen of Cups. Yeah, there's possibly some of you are dealing with an ex. Some of you are dealing with a person that you feel is not capable of going their own way or something like that, or living their own life. I feel like you're having the talk about this about them going their own way. And it's possible that you might take on too much of the responsibility for this person. They need to take on the responsibility for themselves. Not all of it if there's some kind of financial need, or if there are children involved, like that's a given. But there's something here about this person not stepping up to take on the responsibility of their own life. So you might be dealing with a feeling that you can't move on from a certain situation because of debt, or because another person isn't kind of taking up the mantle. Um, and like you can't see happiness, or you can't experience happiness, but you're healing. You are healing here from these past patterns. Nine of Wands, Knight of Pentacles, High Priestess, the Two of Swords, and the Moon. The new moon in Cancer is happening July 5th. I believe it's 14 degrees of Cancer. And so that's a very nurturing energy. It's also the opposite of this Capricorn energy, this Saturn energy. So a lot of you take my astrology classes know this, that one of the things I like to talk about is how to surf your astrology, your birth chart, how to surf the energies that are going on right now, how to use them to get where you want to go, or to align with your purpose, or something like that. When you have too much Capricorn, when you have too much obligation, responsibility, and it's getting you down, right? It's getting you into low vibe. Like, we can have a lot of responsibility and be like embracing it. Like, this is one of the reasons I'm here. Remember, I'm talking about ascending the mountain. This is going to get more difficult because you're going, discovering truth. There's the Ace of Swords. Okay, thank you for that. Some of you have been kind of walking around the lowlands and not really feeling challenged, and being like, okay, well, that's the Four of Pentacles. Like, I'm kind of not stepping into where I need to go. But now you're being offered this opportunity to be free of something, be free of a past life pattern, and kind of dragging it around with you, because what you want to do is add Cancer, add the opposite sign. So think about every single sign as having an opposite, but also those two are kind of working together in your birth chart and in the in the cosmos. So Aries and Libra, those work together. Aries is a very independent, and Libra is very much about the we. So if you got too much we, too much togetherness, too much whatever, you need to add a little independence. Vice versa. If you're kind of like a lone wolf, then maybe add a little bit more relationship. Libra, add a little bit more to that. Taurus and Scorpio, that is about security versus risk. So if you got too much security, things can stagnate. And then you're going to need to take a risk in order to be growing again. You need to take some kind of risk. You can't just stay in that. That's probably what happened here. Just staying too long in a place that wasn't growing. And it gets it almost gets like infected, or it gets, what's the word I'm looking for? Not rage, but like resentment. Resentments can build when things get too stale. Okay, so you got to add a little Scorpio. You got to add a little risk. You got to add a little vulnerability. Gemini and Sag, that's all about the truth. And it's all about knowledge and experience and adventure, and, asking questions and going down rabbit holes and all that kind of stuff. So those two things, if you got too much Gemini, which can be focused on micro details, add a little Sag, a little expansion. Okay, so we're talking about Cancer and Capricorn here. This is Capricorn energy. You got too much responsibility. You got to add a little bit of nurturance to yourself. You got to add a little bit of self-love. You've got to let yourself off the hook. Okay, if you got too much self-nurturance and not enough action in the world, or not enough lessons that build character, as my family used to say, then you're going to need to take on some kind of challenge in order to balance yourself out. And so I feel here that there's something that's gotten very stagnant, that you need to add a little nurturing to yourself, let yourself off the hook, but then also not be, this could be an addiction here about being codependent or people pleasing or something like that. And that needs to change. That needs to change. So I'm liking that I'm seeing the aces here, and then that discovering truth is the Ace of Swords, that you're going up the mountain here now. So you can't really afford to be carrying all this baggage, because you are about to ascend the mountain. You can't carry all your stuff in that backpack. You've got to unpack. You've got to unpack some stuff. You've got to accept the endings as they come. You've got to accept certain things as truth, Ace of Swords, in order for you to move on. Some of you are resisting Two of Swords here, resisting some kind of truth. This is intuition. And the Cancer new moon coming up can be a real big help about this, because it's like, it's not like tough love. I feel like this is like understanding. All right. Like, I need a little understanding. If I'm gonna move forward, I'm so hard on myself that I don't let myself off the hook for things that happened years ago, or that I feel I'm responsible for, but nobody else is holding me responsible for. Somebody here, though, is being held accountable for something that isn't theirs. It is another person's job to step up, and they're not doing it. And so that's creating a lot of resentment here. Okay, so let's keep going. I am going to look at what you don't see coming in the extended. I will look at any kind of challenges. I will get some guidance from Spirit, and we'll see where this goes. Give you some choices. All right, link is below if you want to continue on. Pathfinders, let's just keep going. All right, I hope you enjoyed that video. If it was helpful to you, please consider liking this video and sharing it with anybody who might have a need for similar kind of information. And if you like this video, check out these videos.